Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Dina. It is Wednesday, March the 2nd, and I'm here to give you a bit of a stitching update. I hope you're doing great, as best as you can right now. I'm just so sad, as most of our community is right now, to hear about what's going on with our friends in the Ukraine, and I just I don't have words to really describe that, but just want to say that the people of the Ukraine are in my thoughts and prayers, and I know they are yours as well. But today I tried to focus really hard on just praying for them and stitching and trying to keep myself calm and peaceful in the midst of the storm. So I hope that you're able to do that as much as you can. And if you are a praying person, please say prayers for our friends in the Ukraine. So today I got out my Dogwood sampler because I just was having a hard time concentrating really on the stitching part. And so to help me kind of work through all that, I just pulled out this and started stitching on it. And I used it for several little prompts, and then I used it for a couple of big prompts. So I actually wound up stitching about 834 stitches in it over yesterday and today. So I want to show you where I got to. So here's where it is now. Last time I worked on it, I came over here in the center and I did this little portion right here. And I think I had maybe done a little bit of this here with a little bit of that flower. Anyway, I got that corner almost done over the last 2 days. Very pleased with that progress. And now I'm working my way down into this section, sort of in the middle of the piece. And once I finish that section there, I would venture to say that I'm almost halfway there. So it's going well. I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna put it away now, even though I stopped in the middle of a flower, because it is something that I could take with me if I'm traveling any. So I think I'll keep it for now where it is and work on some prompts, probably on whips that I can't get in the car with me or on the plane with me, those that are on large scroll frames. So I'll be picking some of those up in the next few days. We only have about a week before we travel. And so I'll be picking those up to work on them before we get out of town. And then I'll try to make a list of things I need to work on while I'm traveling that will also help me, you know, hit my prompts that I like to do. But I hope you're having a good day with your stitching, and I hope you're getting a lot done as much as you can. I'm sad that our Nashville market is occurring during this time because I know that has got to be in the back of everyone's mind, and I know it puts sort of a damper, you know, on what could have been such a big celebration. I hope they'll live in the moment as well, and you know, and we'll do what we can as we work through it. So I hope that you're healthy and well, and that you are being careful even as different areas of the world are lifting their restrictions on masks and things of that nature. As far as we know, when we travel, that restriction has not been lifted where we're going to be on the ship, and so we're planning on having on our mask. So we'll see. Anyway, I will hopefully check back with you tomorrow or the next day, depending on what I get done, how much stitching I get done. My son's already told me he wants to cook a big meal for us tomorrow, and so I don't know how much time I'll be stitching tomorrow evening, because we may be having, you know, I may be cooking with him or whatever, so that sounds like fun. But in the meantime, enjoy your stitching, and I will talk to you soon. Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Dina and today is Thursday. It is the 3rd of March and I'm here to give you a little bit of a life update and a stitching update. It's a great combination. Let's start with the stitching. Today I was working on several prompts that I had identified for one whip. It was a prompt in the acrostic for 24 hours of cross stitch and my magazine monthly challenge, and then I also had a prompt I was working on called a whip parade prompt, and you're supposed to use a different whip for 10 different prompts. And for that one, the prompt was to stitch on something that was either gifted to you or would be a gift. And this was gifted to me. This pattern, Spring at Hawk Run Hollow, was gifted to me. And so I've been working on it. I'm working in this first block here. And when I got started on it, I had done this top of what's supposed to be, I think, a brick window. And I had just turned the corner and had started working a little bit down here on the bricks, not much. And I picked it up and I worked on it. And I did about 339 stitches for my prompt today. So here's where I got to. I stitched this whole side and corner, came back up here and did the branch, and then I've done one color on the little squirrel. So 339 stitches later, there you have it. Greatly pleased with this progress. It's going very smooth. I've enjoyed it. And so that meets the prompts for this whole month so far of March for Hawk Run Hollow. Now, it could be that later on, you know, one of my groups that I'm in puts out prompts every 2 weeks. And so it could very well be that on the next Friday that they put something out, I could use it again. But for now, as you know, I work on a big spreadsheet, what my prompts are, and then what whips I can use for them, so I can identify at a glance how quickly, you know, one whip could meet several prompts. So I'm real happy about that. So I wanted to share that with you. All right, so let's go to the life update. I just wanted to share with you a big surprise that my son did for us today. He let us know last night that he wanted to cook dinner tonight, and he went shopping and bought all his ingredients and planned the whole thing. And tonight, let me tell you, we had a feast, and it was all healthy and low-cal, and it was delicious. He made a Thai peanut salad. We had a huge mixture of spinach and iceberg lettuce and shredded cabbage and grilled chicken breast with pine nuts and peanuts and a peanut Thai peanut dressing. And then we had roasted vegetables, and these were phenomenal. He had baby corn in there and carrots and oh my goodness, just cloves of garlic and 3 different kinds of sweet salad peppers and little tomatoes and olives. I'm trying to make sure I have everything in there. Carrots, green beans. It was wonderful. He roasted them in a mixture of a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of salt and big sprigs of thyme all throughout. And he roasted them really slow, and they were so sweet and they were so delicious. And then he also fixed jicama fries. They were delicious. He roasted them in the oven as well. And my husband and I were thrilled. It was delicious. It was so much fun. It was different. And we were very, very pleased. And and grateful. That was the first time he's actually, since his diet, cooked for us. You know, has made a huge meal for us, and he could eat some of it, a little of all of it, but you know, not much of any of it, but he shared it with us. So needless to say, I have some fabulous leftovers for this week. I just wanted to share that because it's such a big change for him to cook so healthy, and I was just so happy for him to see that happening. Isn't that great? Another thing I did today is I took down all of my February decorations, all of my Valentine decorations, and today I put up my Easter and my St. Patty's Day. I only have a couple of St. Patrick's Day things, and so I've just put them in on one of my pieces of furniture in the entryway, just a nod to St. Patty's Day this year. But all my Easter stuff is up, so I'll take a video tomorrow if I can. It's too late tonight, the lighting isn't good, but I'll show you my mantle and my dining room table. Those are the two main places I decorate for the season, mainly because Coco can't reach either of them. So that's kind of where they are. Anything else I think she might could get to, so I try to be careful with that she doesn't get to my things that I've stitched. Anyway, I've also done something else today. I guess there's just something in the air right now, but I did another FFO. I'm getting ready, I guess, for 4th of July coming up this summer, and I went ahead and took my Betsy Ross, and I went ahead and decided to make her into a pillow that would go on my mantle with my other pillows for 4th of July. And you'll notice this backing fabric is the same that's on my bell pull, so they kind of will go near each other and they'll complement each other that way. But the lovely part about it is that the red that's in the flag here is about the same shade of red that's in this background. So I liked that. That's what kind of made me decide to go ahead and do it. And I got it stuffed and fully stuffed. It's nice and thick. And just went ahead and finished that today. So there's another FFO. Love it. Hope you like it. And that'll go into my 4th of July decorations. So there you have it. Tomorrow I'll be stitching with my friend Glow. I don't even know yet what I'm going to stitch on. If I look at my prompts, I had promised myself I was going to stitch on my larger things on my scroll rods while I was home before I travel. So I'm hoping to pull out another one of those tomorrow, and I will certainly share it with you when I do. Happy stitching, everybody. Good night. Here's our dining room Easter display this year. Our little metal tree with our metallic eggs hanging from the tree. And then we have a little collection of eggs and two little bunnies holding their Easter eggs. So this is our dining room. It's on a tablecloth that's made to look like grass, like Easter grass. I thought that was just a really cute nod to Easter. Okay, here's our Easter mantle. I'll scan across it a little bit for you so you can see it. It's mainly a combination of my cross stitching and my Jim Shore collection. So on the far end is my Easter peep I stitched last year and framed myself. And then there's my gathering eggs. She's sort of in the center place of honor there. And then there's my more chocolate bunnies, and that kind of anchors the mantle. I've got my multicolored Easter grass in there, and I've used the same colors in the eggs as you find in gathering eggs. They kind of set the color tone for me. And I've got my Easter grass, my multicolored Easter grass in there. My Jim Shore collection consists of my little chick and the little bunny rabbit holding a basket of flowers on that end. And then I've got two beautiful candles, one in a blue crock, one in a purple crock that match the colors. And then here's a combination. Here's a bunny rabbit holding a chick, which is another Jim Shore piece that I have. And the rest of the eggs there on the mantle. So that's just my Easter spring decor, and that's what'll be up now until probably Memorial Day time frame, somewhere in there. I will, you know, take the Easter part down and put up 4th of July. But I hope you like it, and I will get back to stitching. Okay, here's the last little bit so far of my spring decorations. This one is the beginning of what will be my March 17th St. Patrick's Day decorations. I only have these two little things. They are Jim Shore pieces that my sister Stephanie gifted to me. And so right now I have them in the entryway on a beautiful piece of furniture here. And what I plan on doing is getting some pretty either 4-leaf clover arrangement or a wreath or something to put around it just to finish it off. But I will hopefully get a chance to do that before we leave on our trip, so I can finish it before St. Patty's Day. But this is the reason I said I need to stitch a little more St. Patrick's Day pieces, because I could put a little grouping here together. So that's something I want to look into for the coming year. Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Dina, and today is Friday, March 4th. I wanted to come today and tell you a couple of things. One, I've been stitching. I've met 3 different prompts with one of my pieces today. I stitched 305 stitches, but I was able to use it for 3 different Facebook groups, which was great. So today I pulled out my Enchanted alphabet. This, one of the prompts that I stitched for said to stitch on something that makes you happy and tell why. And the reason that this one makes me happy is because it was my birthday start. It was my unicorn chart until someone gifted it to me. And then it became my birthday start for this year. So I was really glad to be able to do that this year. So tonight, what I did today, ending up tonight, is I stitched the remainder of the letter L, and I started on the letter M. So there's the J, K, L, M. And once I finish the M, then the next little letter I have will be N and O. It'll be right on this side of the M. And I'll be at the little girl. I'm very excited about that. So here's the piece so far. I love it on this beautiful green fabric. And someone asked me recently what the name of the fabric was, and I promised to look that up. So let me do that right now, if you don't mind. I keep a little card on all of my current whips that has this kind of information on it. It is on 32 count Lugana, and the name of the colorway is Heritage. It is a picture of this plus, which means it's very tight. I'm only using 2 strands, but I'm having to push pretty hard to get my thread to go through. So I switched to a little bit larger needle, and that makes the hole a little bit bigger, and it's going through a lot better now. I was actually using a little tiny needle, and my thread was wearing, you know, shredding almost in the eye of the needle, because where it was pushing through, it was so tight. With that small needle, the hole didn't open up enough to let the thread through without scraping it. And so after I had 2 strands of floss shred right at the eye of the needle, I swapped and got a bigger needle. I thought, what am I thinking? I need to get a bigger needle. just to open up the hole a little bit because this is such a tight weave. But I am really enjoying this on this green color. And that's about the, right there is about the right color that you're seeing in the background over there. So I think that's a beautiful combination and I'm really happy with it. So I'm gonna be putting this away until my trip. I have met a prompt tonight. The reason I picked it up is because the prompt that I was working on expires before I leave. And so I couldn't take this with me to meet that prompt. I had to go ahead and stitch it before I left. So that brings me to a point. I will be looking at all of my prompts. I will be determining which ones I need to stitch before I leave town because they'll be due before I get back for their event. And so I'll work on that and try to get those done. My husband reminded me today that Coco has a busy week next week. She's going to the groomers on Tuesday, and then she will be going to the daycare for one night while my husband and I go to Atlanta for a concert. We're going to go see Andre Rieu and his orchestra, and we're going with another couple from our church. Actually, it's our minister of music. I'm so excited. We've never been able to do anything together, so this will be very fun. And then we get back that night pretty late, which is why Coco's going to be at the babysitters, the dog sitters. And then Friday, we fly. We fly to Atlanta. So we will take Coco back to our daycare and where she will stay for the whole trip. So she'll have a great 7 days with her buddy Fred and the dog sitters Giselle and Jeffrey, and I know she'll enjoy herself. I'm sure she'll be very happy to see us when we get back, but I won't worry as much about her now that we've been gone once. And this is a little, like 1 day shorter than we were gone last time. So that's big plans. Now, I have one other quick thing to tell you. Got pictures of my son today. Big surprise. Wasn't expecting pictures. Didn't know he was going to do anything special today, but he did. He went rappelling. The last time his group of friends went rappelling, he went with them, and they didn't have a harness that would hold him. So this was right after his surgery, not too long after his surgery, and he hadn't lost, very much weight yet. And now that he's lost 121 pounds, they have a harness that fits him. And he didn't know that. He was actually going with his buddies just to be one of the drivers for a group of friends because they wanted to all ride together. And he could hold the most of them, I guess, in his car. And he said he would just walk around and hike or run a bit. He was jogging the last time he was there. And he was just kind of going for the camaraderie. And he sent me a picture and said, I rappelled today. And the smile on his face says it all. So I'll pop that in here. And also a picture of where they rappelled down. And a couple of pictures that he sent me later of him actually putting on the harness and stepping off the edge. And he's making a funny face for his friends, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So indulge me and let me share those pictures with you real quickly right here. And that is my update for today. I hope you have had a wonderful week. I'm going into the weekend. Tomorrow I actually have a free day. I have a lot of things I want to get done tomorrow. I want to grab a couple of things for my trip that are, travel things that you need that are travel sizes, like toothpaste and hairspray and stuff like that. I'm going to run get that at the Walmart. And then I'm going to come home and I'm going to make my final plans on what I'm packing to stitch. and I'm gonna run through my list of clothing that I've pulled together to pack. And as soon as I feel that that is all good and well, I will come up here and stitch. My goal tomorrow is to stitch on some of my larger things that are on big roller frames that I won't be able to take with me once I determine what those prompts are that have to be met before I leave town. So wish me well, and you know I'll share it with you. Happy stitching, everybody. Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Dina. It is Saturday. It is the 5th of March. Can you believe it? It's already the 5th. Oh, time is flying. Even in March it's flying. Well, I sat down last night. I came up with my list of projects that I need to stitch on to meet prompts before I leave for my trip, because they're on larger roller frames or frames of some sort. Not all of mine are roller frames. If you hear that scraping noise, that's Coco. She's playing over there in the floor with toys. And right now she's just turning in circles, scratching across the floor. I'm not sure why, but anyway, she's enjoying it. So today, my goal, I had 3 goals for the day. I've met 1 so far. My day did not start out as I had planned. I had some friends who needed a little bit of help with some things, and so I didn't get to start stitching until about 1:30 this afternoon. But my first goal has now been met. In fact, I went over it, and I'll tell you why. And it's so me. Anyway, this is my winter Quaker, and my stitching the last time I finished this motif right here. So today when I picked it up, there are, you can't see them, but there are little tiny single-stranded snowflakes in here. And then there was this motif, and that's the end of that row. So all of this right across here makes that row. And then I'm counting this motif, this bird, this big one, the bird, that motif, and that would be kind of the next row. Anyway, I say that because it's important. On my whip goal for Winter Quaker, it was to complete 1 row. And tonight, I finished this one. So I have completed the row. So I have come over here on my Winter Quaker, right here, and I've colored it with my little yellow pencil so that the next time I update this on the computer, I'll turn it yellow. And for me on my chart, that means it's not called yet, but it's been met. The goal has been met. I wasn't going to do that ahead very much this time. I've done that ahead in the past, but I'm working on so many different prompts with the different magazine acrostics, the 24 hours acrostics, and other prompts, especially doing 2 that are year-long prompts. Right now, I felt like if I hit the goal early, I am going to make a record of it, because I want to get a blackout on my whip go just for me. And if I don't mark it and I've already done it, then that means I have to start on another row and do a whole nother row to meet that. And I think that that wouldn't quite be what I had intended. So I'm counting it. My board, my rules, as Jessie says. So anyway, I want to show you my stitching. Here's where I got to. You can see a little bit these little white snowflakes in here. There were several of them, 5 to be exact. So I did all 5 of the little white flakes, and then I did this big motif here. And that was a total of 400 stitches. My goal was 300 that I had to meet, but you know me, I don't like to leave a motif unfinished if I can help it. Now, when I get to this really big motif here, this one or this one, I may not have a choice. I may have to, you know, do so many colors on it and then leave it. But in this case, I gave myself permission, I guess I should say, to finish the motif, and that just gave me an extra 100 stitches more than I needed, but that's okay, because to do that means I hit the end of the row. So I have met the whip go goal for this piece for this year. And because I was stitching it for one prompt, which was 300 stitches on my oldest whip. This is now my oldest whip. I started it December the 12th, no, 29th, December 29th, 2019. Almost into 2020, but I started it December 29th, 2019. So it was my oldest whip. But I also was able to use it for 2 additional prompts. One in 24 hours of cross stitch acrostic for a T. And the way I was able to do that is I said it was Threads by Valdani, because these are threads by Valdani. They are the Valdani 3-stranded floss that you use 3-stranded. So that's how I met that one. The T was for threads. And then in my monthly magazine challenge, it was for an R for Rosewood Manor. So this is by Rosewood Manor. Now, I don't know if you saw their latest video, but the Sunshine Stitchers actually interviewed Karen on their floss tube. I absolutely loved it. And I watched and to look and see, you know, what all they had that they were showing and how many I had of them. And I was really kind of tickled to see that I had a few. But today, when I posted in the Sunshine Stitchers Facebook group, I went ahead and posted my Dogwood lace that I worked on earlier this month for the focus of the Rosewood Manor focus. And I put that in there just to show my progress. Karen commented on it, y'all. I just fangirled all over the place. I couldn't believe it. The designer actually saw my picture and commented on it. And that was, whew, that was pretty exciting for me. Because, you know, you revere these talented artists and you love stitching, you know, their charts and designs, but you rarely get to meet them, you know, or you rarely get to know if they ever see from you. I have been the recipient of a comment from Kathy Haberman, which tickled me to death, and that, you know, at one time in her Facebook group. So Karen, I know, doesn't watch my channel, but I just wanted to tell you she was so sweet and so complimentary, and that just did my heart good. There were several people who were kind enough to let me know that they liked my progress. So now I have to post my progress on my winter Quaker, because that is also a Rosewood Manor. This will be the second one that I focus on this month. And hopefully, if I can get to all of my goals that I've set for myself before I leave town, I will get to work on a third Rosewood Manor that's active in my whips, and that will be the Crabapple tree. And I noticed in their video that Gary has Crabapple tree in his stash. He hasn't started it yet, so I'll be happy to share mine with Gary and just say, look, this is so pretty. You're gonna love it, you know, when you stitch it. So anyway, thanks for letting me share my winter Quaker with you. I would venture to say now, looking at the pattern, that I am approximately halfway there in the length of it. I've got 3 huge motifs left to do, 2 medium, and then a few small, and then those little tiny snowflakes that are everywhere, those single-stranded, you know, backstitching type things that I try to do as I go along so I don't have any backstitching left, you know, when I get finished. But I'm excited. Here we are in March, and I'm already halfway through this one, so perhaps I finish this year. Wouldn't that be nice? Since I started on it in 2019, I think that would be awesome. So we'll make that an official goal for the year. I'll try my best to finish it this year. I hope I can. You guys have a great weekend, the rest of your weekend. It's been, as I said, a different day than I planned, but a good day. And I will be stitching now on my second goal for the day. Whether I get it or not, I don't know, but I'll get some on it, and then I'll finish it up tomorrow if I don't finish it tonight. But you know the drill. If I finish it tonight, I'll definitely bring it back and show it to you. So in the meantime, happy stitching, everybody. Well, hello again. Welcome back. It is later in the evening on the 5th of March, and I was able to finish the second goal I had set for myself today. My second piece that I wanted to work on was Hawk Run Hollow. And the reason for that is I had a final prompt I wanted to work on for an event that is closing out on March 11th, which I will be gone. And so I wouldn't have a chance to work on this piece again unless I do it before I leave. So I pulled out my Hawk Run Hollow one more time because the prompt that I was working for said to stitch on something that actually has a sun or a moon. And as you can see here in my Spring at Hawk Run Hollow, there is a sun, a big bright sun illustrated right here. So that's how this one fit that prompt. As you know, I'm up here in the first square of Spring, and so that's what I worked on, and I had to do 300 stitches in order to meet the prompt. And I did that, but I went to 312 just to run my thread out. So let me tell you what I worked on, because it's really hard to tell if you're not aware, because it's a small thing to see. But what I did is I did the light gray all around the squirrel, and then I stitched the white inner border all the way up and all the way across on that row. And then I came back and I picked up the brown inner border and I stitched it here and I stitched it here and here. I finished it all in here. And that gave me the 312 stitches finally. Being able to stitch the white all the way across and all the way up really helped a lot. And I did that for that reason. When I'm looking to make a prompt quickly, like I was today, I look for a long strand of, like a big block of color or a long row of stitches, because that helps you get a number of stitches fairly quickly. So there we are. We're making progress in that first little square. We're getting there, getting a lot of the border done. This is actually a window frame that's supposed to be, I guess, a brick house. And then you've got this little squirrel and you've got two birds that are going to be highlighted in here with some lettering. So I'm excited that I actually have one of the creatures already done now, because it's finished, that I've done both colors on it. So there you have it. That is that last prompt right now that I need Hawk Run Hollow for. So I'm excited about that, glad to get that done. There was one final goal that I had set for today when I hoped I was going to get a big long day of stitching, and that was a new start. And this is my Whip Go goal for one of the numbers that was called, and it was to start Chasse, the egg hunt. And it's only 10 o'clock, so I may pull it out and look at it and maybe get it ready for a start tomorrow, so that when we get home, after church, I could get going on it. But tomorrow, otherwise, what I wanted to work on was my pandemic. I wanted to get I have a prompt for 300 stitches on it, and then because it's in the same Facebook group, I have another prompt. I only need 100 stitches, but I can't double dip. In the same Facebook group, they won't let you double dip in any of their different events. So I would have to do a total of 400 stitches to get both of them met, and I was looking forward to maybe getting that done on Sunday. I think I had actually put it for Sunday and Monday, but anyway, my new start will either be tonight or tomorrow, and so either way, we'll make it happen, and then that way I have it ready to take with me. I have my list of what I'm going to take with me on my trip. And I have actually gone through my trusty spreadsheet where I've written down all of my prompts, and I've looked at what I will have left to meet while I'm traveling. So I have a list to take with me that tells the name of the piece that I want to work on and how many stitches and what it's for, so that I'll be able to post it, because we'll just be touring the California coastline on our trip, so I will have access to local Wi-Fi, and I should be able to post in my Facebook groups. So I'll go over that real quickly with you. I even have it assigned to a day to make sure I had enough days to do all of this, but if I do it on that day or not doesn't matter. I'm just making sure I have days set aside to work on each thing. But I am taking with me New Beginnings, and it is to actually hit 3 prompts. I have to stitch 300 stitches on it, but I get 3 prompts out of it. I would take my Chasse because that's my whip goal, and the goal there is to finish the bunny. And so I hope to do that while I'm on the cruise, if at all possible. I would be working on Dogwood lace for my animal adventures. I need to do it twice, but I can do as little as 100 stitches for each one of those prompts and be okay. That's the one I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, or 500. And at this point, I already have the benefit of doing the higher ones in the bag. I've banked the right to change out one of my whips I'm working on if I want to, so I don't have to do the higher numbers this month, and I'm not going to because I have so much other stuff to do. And then Enchanted Alphabet I'm taking with me again, and that's the same thing. It's in my animal adventures, and I have to use it twice, but I can do 100 stitches for each one. And then Will You Be My Valentine I need for 24 hours of cross stitch acrostic. So I will try for 200 stitches, but it doesn't matter. Whatever I stitch on that meets that prompt because there's no minimum required. I'm going to take Flaky Friends with me because I need it for an acrostic. Again, I don't have a minimum number of stitches, so it's back stitching that's required. So I'm thinking that I'll take it with me to one of the stitching sessions that I do on the boat with other knitters and natters, and they always are kind enough to let my cross stitching in there. But I'll back stitch while I'm with them, and then whatever I get done, that's going to count for that. And then think that the rest of the time I just get to stitch on what I want because I've met all the prompts. So that's a good thing, you know. That's my plan. And if I get all that done on the days that I have accounted for them, then I will actually get to pick up 2 of my pieces for a repeat day. But I figured having those 2 days is great because then if I didn't finish a prompt, I always have time to go back on those last 2 days that we're cruising and hopefully meet, you know, that prompt if I didn't finish it before. So I'm excited. Things are going well, and even with a crazy day today, I got my 2 big goals out of the way, and so I would say that's a productive day of stitching. And I'm pleased with what I got done, so that's fun. I hope you are gonna end up having a great weekend. I just finished watching a couple of FlossTube videos with people that were sharing their February wrap-ups, and that was really great to see what everybody accomplished in the month. And overall, everybody keeps saying, you know, how quickly the month was over, how quickly the month was over. It did seem to fly. It really did. All right, I'm going to let you get back to your stitching, and I'll talk with you soon. Happy stitching, everybody. Hello, everyone. Good evening. It is Sunday, March 6th, and I'm here to give you a little bit of a stitching update. I decided I wanted to try to go ahead and make my new start that was called for Whip Go for the month of March. Number 15 for me was a new start, and it was Chasse egg hunt. And so I wanted to give it a start today. My goal on Whip Go was to stitch just the rabbit herself. But today when I started on it, I like to do a upper left-hand corner start. So I did calculate where that was and where the border would start, and I did the border around till I had enough stitches in the border to count for my 2 acrostics that I was using this pattern for. And then once I had that, I realized that I had another prompt that said to stitch 300 stitches on a small. And when I saw how tiny this was going to be finished, I realized it qualified as a small. And so I went ahead and stitched another 100 stitches in it so I could meet that prompt. And I realized, I think I could finish this rabbit today. This is going really well. And I did. So guess what? I hit a Whip Go goal today. Yay! Here it is. Here's my little Chasse. Pardon my French. I don't speak French, so I'm sorry if I'm butchering that terribly. But I didn't have all of the over-dyed threads. I had about 4 or 5 of them, and I've pulled those out and I'm using them where I have them, but I'm using the provided DMC equivalents for the colors that I didn't have. Now, I love this fabric. I hope you're seeing it. It's a beautiful mixed berry. It's a Jobelin, and it's a Wilchelt product. But I think that's a beautiful background for this piece. Those burgundy sort of purpley pink colors look fabulous on there to me. So anyway, I got started on it and I hit the Whip Go goal. So I will be taking this with me on my trip because I'm loving it. It is stitching up so well, and it is smaller than I thought, so it's stitching up quicker than I thought. So I'm definitely going to take that with me. Anyway, I have been spending the day today watching some YouTube videos about the Ukraine, and also want to thank the 911 Stitcher and Brenda and the Serial Starter for giving us ideas on how we can support the designers in the Ukraine, and also Mama Loves You GB. I think I heard you talk about that as well in your video today, or that I watched today. So I just want to thank those of you who've been able to pull together some of that information for the rest of us, so it's easier for us to just, click and do that. And that made me feel a lot better today, that at least we could do something to help. And otherwise, I'm going to let you get back to your stitching. I'm going to probably get Coco ready for bed. She went on a walk with me this morning, and then she went on a really long walk in the park with her dad today. And she is laying over there just flat out on her side, legs straight out, sound asleep. she's tired. I love it. Anyway, so I'll probably get her to bed because she's up here waiting on me. So you have a great start to your week next week. I hope you get to meet several of your goals, if not all of them. And I will be kind of looking at my checklist. I think I've done well. I have hit my goals that I had set for Saturday and Sunday. In fact, I've actually kind of knocked the Sunday one out of the park with finishing the rabbit. I hadn't expected to do that. And so next week I will start again on Monday, trying to get a little bit more stitching done on my larger projects that are on scroll rods, and go from there. But whatever I work on, you'll be the first to know. Happy stitching, everybody. Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Dina and today is Monday, March the 7th, and I'm here to give you a big stitching update. I keep saying a little stitchy update, but today I felt like it was more of a big stitchy update because it's a big project. Today I tackled several prompts, but they're with one whip. So I'm using this whip for a prompt that said to work on your largest whip. It is my largest whip. I'm using it for both my 24 hours of cross stitch acrostic and my monthly magazine acrostic. And then I had another year-long challenge where we're doing what we call an animal adventure, and we hunt for animals. We have 8 to find every month, and the way we find them is with stitches. And so today I had to hunt for my frogs. So I found them. But that is the one I've told you has a number of stitches that's your choice, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 500. And today I did 485 for that prompt alone. So I got the 400 category. But all total today I put in with the two separate, I had to stitch it in 2 separate prompts because 2 of those 4 are in the same Facebook group and they don't let you double dip on anything. So I did 308 stitches for the first one and 485 for the second. So I have a total of 793 prompts. Stephanie, cuz math. Anyway, here's where my pandemic got to today. So in case you can't remember where it was the last time you saw it, which I don't doubt that you can't remember that. You see everybody's that's working on it. But this big diamond here is where I concentrated. And I had a portion of it done to the page break, just to the page break. So today, I finished it. I finished that medallion completely. So there you have it. That's what 793 stitches looks like from the page break right here all the way over. Anyway, got that done. Really happy with it. Hit all those prompts, and you know I was working on those because this one definitely is not a travel piece, and I wanted to get all the prompts done for that piece while I was at home. So that's what I did. Anyway, that's all for my stitching update today. So have a good evening, and I hope to be talking with you soon. Happy stitching. Hi everyone, good evening. This is Dina. It is Tuesday, March the 8th, and I'm here to give you a bit of a report on what I've been doing today. I stitched today. I decided to do a continuation of what I'd been trying to do before I go traveling, and that is to work on prompts that are on my projects that are larger and are on big roller frames. And so today was Crabapple tree, and I met 3 prompts with it. I met a prompt for 300 stitches on your whip that was one from your most, I guess, your designer that you have the most active whips with. So that would be Rosewood Manor for me because I have 3 active Rosewood Manor charts right now, and I'm using all 3 of them for various prompts in this little challenge. So the one that I used to represent my designer that I have the most whips from is Crabapple tree. So I did my 379 stitches because I wanted to finish the little part of the border, the band that I was working on at the top. And I was able to use it also for both my 24 hours of cross stitch acrostic and my magazine monthly challenge acrostic. So I'll show you what I got to if you can even see it. I'll try to get it where the light will shine. There you go. So I had just finished this middle band where the two words are, the two seasons are there. And then I started down into this fourth quadrant. So I brought this border down here till I could start this across here. I did this band here of green leaves, and then I started this white band here, and it ends with a heart here and turns and does that same band all the way down. But I got those completed to here, and next time I pick it up, I can finish the inside of these, or I can finish the white all the way down so that I can do the inside of it all at one time, whichever, I want to do. But it's coming along, and I was glad to get some work on it. This is also a Whip Go. It's a Whip Go Gold. It has not been called yet, but I'm to do an entire season this year. So that means I have to finish this whole quadrant this year. I'm hoping to do that. But that was good to get started on it. That's the first stitching I've done that's actually in the quadrant itself, that's in that season. So I'm happy about that. Got it started, got it going on. So I'm gonna get to bed. I've got an early start tomorrow, but I feel really accomplished, and I appreciate you letting me share it with you. Happy stitching, everybody. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. It is Wednesday. It is the 9th of March. Can you believe it? Wow, it's been a busy day. We are going to hear Andre Rue this evening in Atlanta, and my husband went yesterday looking to try to find a restaurant close enough by that we could walk to, so we could park at the venue and walk over and have dinner right before the concert. And there wasn't any place to do that was close enough where we could walk. It might be raining, and he did not want to have to pay to park twice and then maybe get stuck in traffic trying to get back in to the venue. So he called me yesterday and asked if I would mind terribly just having dinner here at the house. Would I mind cooking? And so I love to do that. I don't mind at all. So I have to close up shop here and run get dinner started. But I just wanted to share with you what I've been working on today. I've been working on my autumn bell pull. I had planned to do nativity, but when I found out I was going to have to cook for dinner, I changed my mind, and I pulled out autumn bell pull. This was for a one prompt in 24 hours of cross stitch. The prompt was for, one of the prompts I used this for was the A in Sanity in Stitches for autumn bell pull. The second prompt was the C in Stitches, and it was for color conversion. So this last prompt, I didn't need it for anything else, so I was just going to stitch 200 stitches. That's usually what I try to do. And today I actually ran my thread out to the end, and as luck would have it, it was exactly 240 stitches, which I thought was pretty cool for 24 hours of cross stitch, because Jen loves to do things by the numbers, and things that have meaning. So there you go, Jen, 240 stitches for 24 hours of cross stitch. Anyway, here's where I got to. I'm loving it. I think it's turning out really well. And I am going to put it all away now and run and get dinner started. And then I will be back, hopefully tomorrow, with a little bit of stitching. If I can, I'll record it for you. So I will talk to you soon. And happy stitching. I hope you have a great, great weekend. And you guys, please keep the prayers going for Ukraine. Keep them in your thoughts and do anything you can do to help support them. I know you will, as we all are. Happy stitching, everybody. Come here. Give me a little money. Okay. Here we go. Here we go, all cuddled up, almost in my lap. This is our sweet time together as I'm stitching. Coco will come check on me frequently, and we do a little loving. I scratch her back, love on her a little bit, and then she'll head off and check on what Daddy's doing. She just has to make sure Mama's okay. She heard me getting everything out to to videotape a little segment here about my winter Quaker. And when she heard me opening drawers and moving around, she came running to check on me. She's such a sweet girl. Coco? Coco, is it time for a walk? Is it? We'll go for a walk? We'll go?